How we doing, Earpers? Come on, we can do better than that. How are we doing? All right, there we go. All right, let's not waste any time and get our lovely cast members out here with us. First up, we have Tamara Duarte. And we also have Martina Ortiz-Luis. And finally, Tim Rosen.
Well, we didn't hear you call our names. We were full-on chit-chatting, and then we were just like, run!
We're having a moment. We're having a moment.
Now, if any of you have been to the other panels today, you know that these things, especially on a Sunday at Con, can sometimes get emotional. I'll do my best not to go in those directions, but no guarantees. It's an Earp-Con, and there's lots of emotion around here. So being day 3 of the con, I'm just curious, let's kick things off. Each of you want to talk a little bit about what it's been like so far.
Everyone's like, it's been great. I mean, this is my very first in-person con, so I've been, yeah. See, you guys are so lovely. I can't even complain. I've been having a blast.
Yeah, that's why I threw you under the bus with that look. Just because I felt like I did the same to Varun. It's like my first time was my first time. Mm-hmm. And it was, we're still talking about Earp-a-palooza, right? and I just remember that feeling. So then when we went back the second time and Varun was there, I was just literally watching him the whole time to see his experience through it. So that's why I looked at you. It's just to hear what it was like. Again, it's so wonderful. Yeah, you guys are great. You're the best.
Tamara,
No,
how's it going?
but with you saying that, I've been like just staring at Martina this morning. I'm like, so how's it going? How do you like it? Like, what's happening? Yeah, so the first time is definitely very embedded in my head, and every other time has been different and magical. And I think this feels like the first time in a way because we've been gone for so long. So yeah, it's the first time, guys.
Yeah, like I remember I went up yesterday or the day before, I can't remember anything anymore, to the artist's alley where people are selling stuff. And I saw someone did a drawing of you. And that was when I was like, oh yeah, Martina's like seeing art of her character for the first time. Like, I don't take it for granted, but you guys have done so much amazing stuff over the years that I'm always like, I remember that first time I saw it, I was like, holy shit. That's my character, and it looks amazing. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I walked up there yesterday and just seeing all the stuff, I was like, this is so crazy, that's my face.
And she bought everything.
And I bought everything. It was so fun.
Yeah.
How has that been, Martina, kind of having people come up to the table, not just to talk about the show, but as you said, sometimes it's artwork or tattoos or anything else in the Earp community. It must be something to just constantly have that flow of people coming at you for the first time.
It's crazy. I want to shout out Kels right here, who literally got that full tattoo right there on your leg. And I remember when you tweeted that for the first time and I saw my face on your leg, I was like, wow. I was like, why is my face on your leg? But it's been so incredible. So many of you guys are so talented, and just seeing all the creative stuff that you guys do and your love and passion for the show, it's just always so heartwarming to see. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the show and the characters, one of the themes for this panel a little bit is kind of, if you will, redemption or looking back at some of the journeys the characters had to go on. Now, each of you had varying, backstories of what happened to you, and you had to work it through as the course of the show went through, based obviously on what you were getting for scripts. But did any of you kind of look at what might have been part of your past in your head, do that little character backstory yourself to kind of give yourself some idea of how to take the character beyond just what was written in the scripts?
Kevin with the real questions.
You're driving.
Yeah.
We're co-pilots.
Wow, Kev. It's oddly enough, I feel like we even talked once about, like, once it had come out 4/12, just that arc
Oh, the complete arc,
Yeah, like
certainly
the
by
complete
412.
arc, yeah.
But I mean, I'm thinking more when you first started to play the character, whatever season it might have been, did you start doing some, oh, well, I'm going to think that he or she did
Well,
this?
I think you have to. You have to make those decisions from like the beginning, but sometimes they're wrong because then you read the rest of the scripts and you're like, okay, I got to change that. But I didn't know a lot about my character, and I had to, I'm reading it as I go, and learning about her history as I go. But I think initially when you get a character, you have to make those decisions, whether you know or you don't know. And that's, I think, the fun part about it is you're creating those stories and why they're doing what they're doing and working backwards. And sometimes you're wrong. And sometimes you're right. Yeah. So with Rosita, it was like, oh, she was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So that really changed a lot for me. A lot of exploring and reading and seeing what they wrote and then going back and rejigging her past was what I experienced. So, yeah.
Oh, please don't look at me.
Yeah.
Oh God, how do I even answer this question? Well, for me, what I found really interesting about Rachel's backstory was the story that she tells about her mom and how they're potentially descendants of this Valdez immortal warrior princess. And in my head, I was like, yeah, that she is. There's something inside her that we haven't discovered yet, and she hasn't had a family dynamic like this Earp family beforehand. And so I was like, being a part of, where am I going with this? I totally
You're
was like,
describing my fandom,
Backstory.
and I was hanging on every word.
Backstory.
Because I'm like, you're literally describing us.
Me too.
I'm like, you're killing it.
Killing it.
That's
Killing it.
why
But the
you
backstory.
are who you are.
The backstory. So basically, yeah, I was just thinking, there's something here that she needs to discover, and she's going to discover it with this family. And that's kind of how I felt about Rachel going into it.
Yeah, for Tim, or for Doc and Rosita, when we first did our first scene behind the bar, and I was bringing out garbage in a very short mini skirt. That was way too small. I didn't know anything about her as a kid. They didn't give me much of a backstory at all. But through what was written, you piece it together, and you're like, oh, Doc and Rosita have known each other a really long time. There's history there. So that's kind of how, as an actor, you piece things together. Because they don't say, well, when you were 5, they don't, that's our job. What about for Tim? What about you?
Well, I mean,
What about Doc?
I had the pressure of playing someone who existed.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so luckily I knew a lot about Doc, but you guys are really smart and you catch everything. And I actually made a huge mistake that I later corrected in other seasons that had I known going back, I would have done from season 1. But luckily,
What was it?
well, Doc's left-handed.
Ah.
Ooh.
So, well, the thing is now, hold on.
I'm just joking.
I was in that well for 150 years with my guns and nothing else to do. So he did
Right.
teach himself to become
Wow.
ambidextrous within the 150 years.
Yeah,
He
right.
is my doc, and I decided that that's so. But it was an Earper who said it to me, and you guys are actually so amazing that they came over and whispered it to me at a convention, which even out of more, it explains this so much. By the way, John Henry was lefty, and I was like, so season 2, season 3, season 4, I noticed, I don't know if you did, but I started shooting a lot left-handed. And I would switch and do both, and just to make sure that my ambidextrous story, it's got legs. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, talking about some of the journeys of the characters, Martina, kind of we start with you. I mean, not so much the character as you. Tell us a little bit what it's like jumping in season 4 of a show like this with a fandom like this. I mean, did you have any idea what you were getting into?
No. No, I mean, it was so crazy because I had never really done any major acting gigs before I came on to do this, and I was like, wow, you guys really trust me a lot to be in the show for 11 episodes. But I had these guys to kind of help me and guide the way, and they were just the greatest mentors. And it's just been so crazy, like, you know, it was intimidating at first coming onto a show that's as established as this and has a fandom as established as this, but the one thing that I think I brought to the table was that I single-handedly lowered the average age of the cast.
By a lot with some people.
And you didn't just come in with like a scene here or there. I mean, you were a key part right from the get-go. Is that easier to just be involved in so much and maybe not think about it as much? Or would it have been better looking back if it was a little more an ease-in situation?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, it was great because most of the first few scenes that I got to film were with Kat and Dom, and Melanie was directing, and Melanie was like, I don't really know what I'm doing either, it's my first time. And so it was kind of, I mean, she was like, she knew what she was doing. But it was just great to kind of have them guide me along, and everyone was just really nice, and I think I kind of got the hang of it a little bit. And I'm still trying to get a hang of all of this, but I don't know how to end this sentence.
Yes, you're very much a natural if you don't know it already with all of us here in the fandom, so know that for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. You killed it.
Yes.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
And your stuff was a lot of stuff was with Billy, right?
Yes, Billy all that stuff was so much fun.
Yeah.
I remember, like, the whole tooth scene was just disgusting. And, like, Billy the actor, Billy, he hates sweet stuff. And so doing the whole blood thing it was just, like, straight up corn syrup, he was, like, doing spit takes, like, between takes. He was like, this is the nastiest thing I've ever done. But yeah, and working with Billy and working with Savannah, all that, like, I love them, and I wish they could come to cons too, because this is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun.
Yeah,
You know I love Savannah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Easter egg for Billy, his dad was the Jack of Knives
Yeah.
from season 1,
Yes.
Greg Brick.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, Tamara, you had auditioned initially for the show before it had even started, correct?
Yes.
What was it like? I mean, you didn't get one of the parts initially there, but what was it like to have Emily kind of reach back out and say she had basically written a part specifically for you?
Oh, she didn't tell me that. I didn't know. Definitely did not know that. As an actor, you're just like, guys, fuck. I didn't get it, and I didn't get the next one, and I didn't get the next one, because they kept on bringing me in. And no, they don't tell you. And I'm like, what's happening? And it's so funny, because then I got in my head. Mm-hmm. And then ego takes, like, didn't, because I shoved her off to the side of, like, I'm not auditioning. I did not do that. I was just like, okay, because I loved the show. But I didn't understand why they kept on bringing me in, and I wasn't getting it. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to keep on doing it. So it was Winona, and then it was Hod, and then it was, like, this other character, and then it was Rosita. So it was like 4 or 5 times. And then I did Rosita, and then Emily didn't tell me that until, like, the end of the season. Like, the last scene of the 3rd season, she's like, oh, by the way, I wrote this you inspired this role. I was like, did you know I used to bartend? Like, how do you know that? Like, I don't know. But yeah, so I didn't know that. I did not know that. But when she told me that, I was like, what? Like, that's crazy.
When we first
Yeah.
got the script, it didn't say Rosita. The character's name was Tamara.
Yes. Character's name was Tamara. Yeah. You would have thought if I got that audition, I would have got the hint. But I 100% didn't get the hint. Yeah. What was your question? I answered it, right?
You answered it
Okay.
perfectly. We're talking about the show, so all answers are perfect.
Yeah. I remember testing with Tim.
Oh, really? That was?
Yeah, and I think my team gave me the wrong material, old material from the first audition, and then like everyone's scrambling in the room, like what's happening, and I'm saying my lines, and they're like, no, it's wrong. You're supposed, and do you mind, like, these are the ones, and I'm like, everything's gone to shit. I'm just gonna leave, bow down gracefully, peace out. So what happens is in the audition process, sometimes, like, as an actor, like, you do your first audition, and second, they could be different. It could be different material, just so you can showcase like different parts of yourself, and then the third could be different or the same. So what they forgot to do was send me the new sides. But I remember seeing you and Shamir and Melanie, and I was sitting there and I see Mel, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm going home. Like, literally, that is what I thought. I was like, bye-bye. Because I love her. Like, she walks, like, and I remember she had bleach blonde hair, and it was like tied up like this, and she was like coming in on a plane, and yeah, I don't know where I was going with that story. We're good. Yeah.
Now, Tim, I'm going to kind of switch from some softballs to some stuff we'd love, I think, to hear about a little bit, something a little harder. Just trying to prep you, being the experienced con panelist that you are. Let's talk a little bit about when Winona shot Holt in the back.
Yeah.
How Doc had to process that. And then another of the awesome, Mel and Tim porch scenes not long after to talk about it. Did you think about that? How did you kind of prep to be in that emotional place?
Yeah, wow. That was, you know. He knows. That was one of those things, forget about Doc. That was Tim first, because I get it first. And I was like, holy shit. Winona, because I'm a fan, guys. So I get this, imagine being an Earper, getting the script before it's even anything. You're like, whoa. So I remember thinking, did Winona just shoot that guy in the back?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is happening? And then I was trying to process how I was going to deal with that as Doc. That was a heavy scene. The whole thing about it was, that was wild.
Sorry.
And then, what did you get?
Nothing.
Was it something fun? I want something fun.
Coffee.
Oh, coffee. No, I can't do coffee after 12 o'clock. That's madness. That's crazy talk. Yeah, and it's funny. Obviously.
These are hard balls.
Yeah. And then, any porch scene with Mel is,
A lot.
it's a lot. I just don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do it. And then it takes a minute to kind of absorb it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was 411, 412 was just a journey because I didn't know what was coming. I never saw what was coming. Emily says she knew in the beginning that all this stuff, because season 3 was hard on me. Doing the stuff I did in 3, and then to come into 4, and there was a little bit of redemption, but not quite. And then for the first time ever, because normally when I read the scripts, I'm like, I'm Team Winona. You just gotta be. But that moment there for a minute, I was like, I don't know if Winona's doing the right thing, which is also kind of amazing. That's what Winona, that's people, that's humans, that's the whole thing. So yeah, I just remember being that was the moment I was like, holy shit, this show is nuts.
Newsflash, right? Like it hadn't been up till then?
Yeah, I know, but I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just, those porch scenes that you two have done, it's just amazing to rewatch them and to see the way you two so present and just so raw. It's just,
Yeah.
as a fan, it's just amazing stuff to watch.
Very magical.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's always kind of respectful about that. It's interesting because I remember we did the proposal the same day. That was it. Those were the 2 scenes we filmed that day. So we blocked the whole day for those 2 scenes. Just the proposal and our one porch scene, which we actually filmed in the studio, and we cheated that we were outside. We had one scene outside, and then we went back in the room and did that. And they made sure to do us first. So we had that exact energy of coming into the room to stand there when you have the most beautiful moment. Like I said, I'm an Earper. I couldn't wait for that moment. But Doc Holliday wasn't the happiest in that moment. The person he loved didn't love him at all, you know? Like, we all know the most painful thing is unrequited love, and that's what it is. So, but they blocked it first, and then they gave us time in between. And then, yeah, they've been very awesome about that. And then the rest of the day we took to what we needed to take, which was that scene. Kind of like the wedding day, which was amazing. Like, that was it. There was nothing else on that day. Like, we're not messing around, you know? And
It's great that they gave you that much time, because usually with the, budget, like they give you that much respect and time to make it that special. I think that's such a beautiful thing, and it makes it that much better. It makes that connection and everything that much better to give the actors that gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we're very lucky, and they're just awesome. So, yeah.
I cried.
Now, talking about that scene, the proposal, Martina, it's well known in the fandom, all the gifs and photos of the broken Winona right next to the exuberant Rachel. Yes. I mean, how did you have those so opposing things right next to each other? Did you and Mel have to do anything to kind of make that? Or?
Well, no, not really, because I think I couldn't really see what she was doing, and like in that moment, all these characters are kind of celebrating or taking in the moment in different ways, and whoa, sorry, and so I didn't really see what she was doing. I was like, Rachel would be like having a good time in this moment, just cruising, like her sexy gay aunts are getting married. So yeah, I didn't really do anything with Mel in that moment. She was focused on the whole doc moment beforehand, and I was just like, woo, wedding.
A little bit emotional scene for you, Tamara, talking about the, well, let's just say it, the baby stealing attempt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Blocked that one out, did we?
Didn't happen.
But going through that, with both, obviously Mel and Dom, I mean, that had to have been something to do.
And she was very, I think she delivered 2 days later. So it was shooting that, her on the pool table, I'll never forget it. What a fucking superstar. I can't, guys, she's 9, 10, 11 months pregnant on her back, which you should not be doing, right? On the pool table, and I'm in between her legs, pretending to steal her baby. But I was worried for her. I'm like, are you okay? Do you need something? Can I roll you over in between takes? What? But then the whole opposite, I couldn't do that as much as I wanted to because I had to be in my character and steal the baby. So it was it was definitely hard to go back and forth between that and yeah, but it was very emotional to do that. And I think for Rosita, it's when you're she felt like there was no way out. And I hate when people say, like, I would never do that. No, I believe in my heart of hearts, if all the circumstances are there and you're put in this position, I think anyone's capable of anything, no matter how good or bad you are. And I think that's what it showed. So, yeah. Yeah.
That's, for us as fans, certainly what makes these redemption arcs so interesting is being able to put ourselves, in the shoes of some of those characters and seeing how you're able to bring them to a spot where we no longer are cursing at what they might have done or tried to do.
Yeah.
That certainly happened with Doc and the vampire storyline and how low he had to go before coming back. I know that was tough for you as the big fan, Tim.
Thanks, Kev. Yeah, that was another porch scene of porch scenes, let me tell you. I mean, I've told that story before, but that one, that sucked that night. It was so cold, and I was so embarrassed, and when I put my hand up to hide those teeth, that was a mix of Tim and Doc. Like, that wasn't scripted. The teeth weren't supposed to come out, and they came out, and I had such shame for just betraying her, and yeah, I felt horrible. But she whacked me pretty good out there in the cold there at 12 in the morning. So she's amazing. The next day I came to my trailer and there was an aloe vera plant there. So she's pretty good.
Very true. A quick aside, folks. Once we get near the end of the panel, I'm going to leave a few minutes if there are audience questions. We do have a mic there, so I'll let you know if you want to be thinking of any questions for the panelists. Switching back to some fun stuff. I know you folks, when you're working the con, I mean, your schedule's so full and you literally go from one thing to the next. You don't maybe always know what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. Maybe talk a little bit about the Family Feud panel. What was that like, kind of getting thrown into the middle of that?
Hold on, I gotta just pissy quick. Give me a sec. Sorry, I'm good. Yeah.
I really don't even know what to say. Like, is there Family Feud in Canada? Because I feel like none of us knew what we were doing. I don't know. I don't know. See, I was trying to get into Mel's head. Right? What would she say? What would she say? And then I've been filtering my language because of my children for 2 years being locked up like a Handmaid's Tale. For so long that I'm like, I want to say this word, but I can't say this word. So it came out like that. Yeah. And then she said boobs, and I'm like, fuck! It would be boobs! Is that your question?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to be...
Okay.
I mean, that's a tough situation to be put in, and especially if you don't even know it's coming, and no chance to think at all, and you have to go at it so early. So kudos for creating an Earp-con moment none of us will forget.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
I had my brunch. It's your time to have yours. Brunch doesn't mean brunch.
I was just smiling because I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Brunch.
Orgy. Oh. We have all kinds of different names for different things here.
Yes. It
Yes.
just takes a little while to fall into those.
Yeah.
Now,
Because I love brunch.
You do love brunch. Actually,
Not
one of the
the
first
real
things.
brunch. Like
No,
when you came back,
okay,
what
so
did we
this
do?
is, I
We
have a
went for
story
brunch.
for you. But when my first day or two on set, obviously I'm like nervous as fuck. I'm like, meeting everyone for the first time, and this amazing human being. Do you want to have brunch with everyone? I was like, yes, I do want to have brunch with everyone. And it was so beautiful.
And when you came back, what did we do? We brunched.
Brunch, and then the Varun and Tim brunching, And it was just like, okay, like you created, Tim, this beautiful gel.
Thank you. I also can't do dinners because it's like 7:30. I'm out.
Last night was like, nah, yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna order first, and I'm gonna have my drink, and I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Such a dad.
Martina, can you talk a little bit about what was great, certainly one of the things of the hundreds in season 4, but the relationship between Nicole and Rachel? Was that something, did you and Kat kind of talk about it? Just happened naturally? Kind of how did that flow?
Honestly, I really think it just kind of happened naturally. Because once again, like being this like newbie coming into the show, Kat was like one of my main mentors, one of the first people that I started working with. So I feel like she naturally had that protectiveness towards me, and my brain, guys, like today, everything is
No,
just
Kat's like the best.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
she is.
basically,
Concur.
it kind of just happened naturally. All that. Guys, what is going
connection,
on?
the
with my brain?
connection.
The
The
connection.
connection.
So you're gonna
I got
finish.
you.
You're
I
gonna
got
finish
you.
my sentences from
Okay,
now on.
I'm ready.
And
I'm ready. I might not say the right words. They might not exist, but I will finish it for
Truly.
you.
I appreciate it. I don't know how else to speak today. But basically, Kat's the best. She is actually my mom, and yeah.
I think it's important for but I think it's important when you're on a set that as a woman, let me rephrase this. Having a mentor or having someone on set that can guide you, especially being new, is life changing. You could not want to be an actor after the first time in a bad experience. Something, so it's like, and it doesn't happen all the time that someone will take you under their wing and be like, listen, what do you need? Answer questions, the connection's there. And Kat is made of gold.
Oh yeah,
she
for
just-
sure.
she
And it
does
was
that.
it was funny, in between filming, on the weekends, her and Dom would help me with my audition tapes. They would read for me, and they would tape me, and they were like, "Okay, that was
Oh,
great."
the
And I was
director in
like-
her comes out. The director in Kat is like,
Yeah.
you will book every time. Did you get it?
No. But it was still lovely just being able to kind of work with them outside of doing Earp and just literally just being like my mom behind the camera.
I'm
being
just
like,
letting you know.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Other sets won't be like that. Not all the time, but I'm just saying in general, this set, everyone was like, you have an audition? I'm gonna help you. Tim drove me to a studio. Oh, no, that was Shamir. But I'm just saying, sorry. Woo! But,
I've driven people to audition.
no, driven people, it doesn't matter who it is, everyone helps out everyone, and everyone's there for everyone, and this is what makes this team this family so special. So you're
got
kind of
really lucky.
spoiled,
Yeah.
and you're next to me, you're like, oh, can I? And that set's not going to be the same. It's not the same.
Tim, we all know, or I believe many of us do know for sure, how much of a fan of the show you are, first and foremost. And I know you love to read the scripts, the entire scripts when they come out. Knowing as things were evolving in season 4, what did you think when you finally got a chance to see 412 with where Doc and Winona ended up?
I mean, I remember I called Emily immediately, and I was just like, thank you so much. And I didn't have to explain why. And she's like, stop, I know. And I was like, but you know? And she's like, yes. And she's like, you deserve it. He deserves it. And I was like, he does. He does. And I was like, because it all came together. It wasn't 412 for me. I didn't read one script. It was 5 years of my life in this arc that finally as a person, I was super proud. Because there's other moments and things that my character did. Because let's be honest, you couldn't make some of the other characters do the things my character did. And maybe they would be as forgivable. You guys somehow forgave Doc, even when he was the worst of the worst. And then I was able to forgive him. Because I'm not as loving as you guys or something. I couldn't. I took it so personal when he didn't choose love. It hurt me. So then when he finally chose love above everything else, it was everything. I was like, just grateful, just so thank you. And I think that's all the conversation was me saying thank you, and she knew everything I meant, and it was like, oh, yeah, it's hot in here.
I mean, it came up in the panel earlier today talking about that scene between Winona and Doc, at the car. I'm just curious, when you read that, the script with that. I mean, I know for many of us, I'll take that leap and include all of you, and certainly for me, that speech is Winona Earp. I mean, was that hard to have to articulate,
Not
or
at
just
all.
rolled
It
off the
was
tongue?
the easiest thing I did in 5 years of working. It's like Emily said, it was the easiest thing she wrote. I mean, I'd waited 5 years to say, I dreamt, I hoped. Like I said it this morning, I was jealous of the Julian character, this angel protector that could do good. That's all I wanted, was to do good. And yeah, that was easy. We didn't rehearse, we didn't do anything. It was Mel, it was me, Paolo on a cliff. There was deer running around again that weren't supposed to be there. It's like that set alone, like every time we were out there in that home, it's magical. Those mountains, you can't see, they're closer than they look on TV. They're there, you're kind of surrounded by the
Yes.
Rockies. And you've been there, right?
Yeah.
It's magical.
Yeah,
out
it
there.
is.
Deer is a really good spirit animal, I'm just letting you know.
They were there.
Yeah.
They were
That's,
rocking and
that's
rolling.
a magical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were always there during this season.
Yeah.
the fourth
We
season.
actually filmed about, I'm not good with math, 20, 30 meters
Yeah,
from
from
where
that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just parked the truck and, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was one of those things that, Mel was like, don't not even come near me. And I was like, no problem. I know when Mel puts in an earbud,
Okay.
and then Paolo was like, he knew, it's Paolo, so he's not like, do you need to run it? He already knew. He was just, and like they all knew, the crew knew. Benny, camera op, he knew, everybody, they just knew. And like after it was done, all of them were like, yep. Like we knew.
Yep, we all did. Martina, talking a little bit about that finale episode, when did you find out you'd be singing the Way Hot song at the wedding?
Well, it was. Guys, well, it was written in the script that Rachel sings a song, but at the time they didn't actually know, or at least they didn't tell me, I don't think, until like, I want to say like maybe a week and a bit before, I think, was when they said it was going to be Wildwood. That was like playing during, was it their first kiss, I think? And it was really funny, since I didn't know what the song was going to be, I actually like wrote like a little bit of a song, and then I sent it to Emily, but like Emily is also like the worst at responding to things because she does everything. And so I was like, I kind of just waited, and I was like, okay, so what's the song gonna be? What's it gonna be? And then they sent me that stripped down version of Wildwood, and I was like, this is perfect. I'm so excited. But at the same time, I was so nervous, and you probably remember, I was a mess that day. I was like, literally, everything about it just.
You were amazing that day.
Yes.
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 Thank you.
I want to hear the song that you wrote
Oh,
as well. I'm not saying
So do I. Who
one
else was
day.
like,
Maybe
what's this
one
song?
day.
Where is
But
it at?
I'm
And
just
what
saying, the
that's
song
all I
you
heard.
wrote.
maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'll see. But yeah, I was a mess that day, and for some reason, you know, singing a song that means that much to the show for this like tiny group of people is just like I don't know. It was one of the most intimidating things I've ever done, but I was surrounded by so much love, and I got through it with the help of these guys, and I was a mess. I was crying through the whole thing. I don't know how we ended up finishing it, but it was those 2 days of just the wedding were crazy.
That you singing was the highlight for all of us. Like we were all talking about it. It was amazing. It was so beautiful. It was wonderful.
Yes. On behalf of an entire fandom, thank you. That was
Oh my God.
really special.
You guys are gonna make me cry.
If you
I
folks
know,
have
the
questions and want to
performance.
line up at the mic, we have a few minutes left, so feel free right here over in this aisle. Tamara, it'd be fun to hear a little more about the fight scene at the nunnery between you and Mel. What was that like?
I thought we were talking about redemption, guys. That was cool. It was super cool to be able to, well, I was pregnant. I was 3 months pregnant, and I was doing a full-on fight scene. And it's hard because it's like I don't know how far I should be pushing my body, and I just do it. But then there's like other people in place to prevent you from doing it, and they'd be like, oh, that's a little dangerous. You shouldn't. We'll get a stunt coordinator to do that part. And as much as it hurts you, it's obviously for the best. But yeah, we had a freaking blast preparing for it, and then also, and we're both like, Mel and I are like, not fight, like, you know, we're like, what the fuck? Okay, so we're gonna hit you this way and do that, and then like kick here, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun to do. And she did a lot. She did, I think, almost everything, and then there was like a stunt coordinator that came in and to do certain parts where it's like, oh, you gotta like pretend to punch me in the stomach. Okay, yeah, let's get that. Things like, yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, that looked like some of the stuff that would really be something to look forward to and get to have fun doing different
Yeah, I
aspects.
like the earrings. I was just like,
Yeah.
ready. Yeah.
Do we have a fan question out there? Go right ahead.
I don't really have a question. Sorry, I've been losing my voice, obviously.
We all
But I just want, Martina, you have a wonderful, beautiful voice, and you did a marvelous job, and we just love the show. And Tim, I had to go back and rewatch Lost Girl after I found out you were in it. And I know you were the bad guy, but I loved you, so, and I still do.
All right, I apologize to everybody about Hale. I do sincerely apologize.
I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't say thank you, but that was so sweet, and I'm really, like, I'm feeling the love today, and I'm really trying hard not to cry. So, thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
So, as an avid D&D player, I have to do like a pregame ritual to get into character. Do you guys also go through a similar thing before you get onto stage and run your script?
Can you take one step closer to the microphone and repeat
Yeah.
all that? Oh, I heard D&D, so you have my attention. But then I
sorry.
couldn't hear the rest.
So, as an avid D&D player, I have a pregame ritual to get into character before I start. Do you guys do a similar ritual before you play and run your script?
I do 100%. Well, I mean, for me, it starts about 4 months before production. It's called growing that massive mustache.
Yeah.
I mean, the things like a coat of armor. Once I have it, I am Doc Holliday. But the last thing I'll put on is my guns. So I have this kind of thing that I get all my dressed up. I don't touch the hat yet. Put all my stuff on, whatever it is. then the hat will come in with the old twirly, and then I get my gun, and then I load Thunderer right, always last. And then once my guns are in, one little shift, I'm ready to roll.
Yes.
Oh, everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first came onto set, it was literally like I did a callback on Thursday. I got the call that I got it on Saturday, and then they flew me out to Calgary on Sunday. So I didn't really, I was literally just like, they just threw me in there, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of like me today right now. So, yeah.
You don't really have time, but then I feel like they're really good at casting. So it's just like, they see it in you. Sometimes it's like, what? How's that? But they see it in you, and then you build your character, and then it all just kind of like comes together because they see it. They saw it, and they're like, she's it. Like this is why it works. So it's really cool.
Sweet.
Me, I just put on a mini skirt. I'm like, okay, I'm Rosita. Like, give me the smallest skirt possible, the most uncomfortable, and make my boobs pop out. And how can you not feel like anyone else? Hoops and we're good. We're good to go. That's all it takes.
Thank you.
I figured I'd keep with the theme, you know. Did you guys get to keep anything from the set? And if you did, what was your favorite thing?
I can't hear anything.
Did you
Did you get to
steal anything from set?
Get to keep anything.
Did you keep anything when you
Did I
left?
keep anything from set? Couple of outfits. Couple of outfits, which I've never worn. I thought I would. Like this cheetah print, really cute velvet. I think I wore it in one of the scenes.
Yeah, I remember
and it's
it.
tucked.
No, the cheetah.
I
It's
have
my
it.
nickname.
I have it in my closet. I'm like, one day I'm gonna wear this. And I never end up wearing it. But there was a few outfits. I didn't steal. They give you a certain amount that you want. But I never ended up wearing any of my. I should throw them out. I still have them. I'll take some photos and maybe give them away to you guys.
Yes,
Auction.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of did the same thing. They let me choose a couple outfits, and I took home the lobotomy purple shirt that I wear in the kombucha episode, and some socks. I don't know why that was my go-to, but I would wear these neon socks that went up to my knee. They were so warm and they were so nice because I think they were made by a local artist or something. And so I was like, I'm taking the neon socks, the purple lobotomy shirt, and the tribal print pants.
Those
And
are those.
yeah,
I
I haven't worn them. Same thing. They're just there. They're just a reminder.
Yeah, some of that stuff. Wait a minute. I did steal something.
Oh, stop the
course.
recording. Okay.
It was in the spa, the bracelet, the spa
Oh, yeah.
bracelet. What did it say on it? Forever something. I guess when you go to a spa, you have I don't know, with the dog like that. You know that scene? Do you guys remember that scene? Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
remember the hot tub scene
hot
in the
tub.
spa? That's-
Anyone?
I kept that bikini too, and I gave it away. I should have. Yeah, I kept that bikini. Anyway.
I never took anything because I don't know. At the end of each year, I always had that feeling, are we going to come back or not come back? And I said, well, if I leave it here, my stuff's going to be here waiting for me when I come back. So I honestly, I'm not kidding. I'm like, so there's always hope because the
Thank
hat
you.
and everything, it's all still there.
Thank you.
Very good. Yes.
I've got a question for Tim. Doc and Kate, do you have any go-to headcanons about their past relationship that you kind of use to play where you were with her and where you were going with Winona?
I mean, I didn't have to because Chantel and I got along really good. And I know this because Melanie got really mad. So I knew Chantel and I were doing something good. So I played off the chemistry, honestly, between the two of us that we had. And obviously we knew that there was I'm not saying there was a great love affair, but we did. It was smoky. It was good stuff.
Those scenes were hot. Like, they were like intense.
So yeah, and anyways, it was also like kind of like with Rosita, we had been through stuff, and so that's why I think Doc, if they made choices that other people didn't like, Doc definitely wasn't judging Rosita, or you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't judging Chantal's character either. Like, that's just not the way it happened. Like, Kate could do no wrong because we've done so many bad things together already. Yeah. So I
have a question for you. What was your favorite scene with Kate? Oh, I mean, not Kate, but yes, Kate and Doc.
I'd say it was
What's your
Chantal
favorite?
again, is because I had to be naked. So I'm like, I gotta be naked. This sucks.
Can I just say something real quick? Because I'm like the youngest one here, I'm like, oh my god, the adults are talking about sexy times. I feel like I should be back there. I'm like, all of you feel like my parents. I'm like, I gotta be over there. Sorry, continue.
And so I was kind of like, I'm gonna be naked, I'm gonna be shy. But Chantel was so awesome, and like I had these assless chaps, and I would always just see her like, but it was in the best way, and it made me feel so at peace, and like, yeah. So we had fun together, so that helped a lot. We had a lot of fun. She's great. She's a great human. And she liked to brunch. Real brunch.
Real.
And I like my brunches.
Wait, were you like, you obviously weren't fully naked.
Well, I was
tell me.
originally, but then
What did you do? What did you say? What did?
well, they're obviously amazing, but I went to Jennifer and I said, she's our costume designer, and I said, listen, he should be in old-timey underwear. And old-timey, they would have a trap door so I said, how about I go old-timey underwear with the trap door open? So you still get whatever it is they need.
No, you're this
But
is great.
I get a little comfy cozy as opposed to the sock option.
You guys know the sock option, right? Does everyone know what that is? Yeah.
You don't.
It sucks. No, you don't. Like,
It is, what are they leotards? What are the silks you
spandex.
guys wear? What's that called? Like the really thin thing that does nothing. Huh?
Pantyhose. It's a pantyhose.
It's a
like see-through.
pantyhose with a nylon guitar string. That's what it is. Fact.
It is. So that's why I was asking. So that's really uncomfortable. That's why I was like, were you really naked? Like,
No,
naked?
well, I pushed that
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
first time I was in the shower scene.
Yes.
That what?
Necessary.
Well, you're
for-
showering. Did it make sense?
That was a beautiful scene.
Yeah, but we did that in the studio, by the way, with no water.
No water? That's
No water.
fucking
We're in the
weird.
studio, so they built this weird rig that would recycle the water, so it would pour on me and then siphon through this vacuum and come, and it was this weird, freezing cold water thing, and.
Wait a minute. But you did have water on you, or no?
Oh yeah, it was falling on me, but
Okay.
it wasn't real water. I mean, it was real water, but it wasn't like a real shower, is what I'm
No,
saying.
it's not hot.
And this was it was.
And you were naked, and it wasn't
And I
hot?
was naked alone because, spoiler alert, that wasn't Scrofy in there with me, because she was pregnant, and at that point of the script, she wasn't to be pregnant. So that was, hi, I'm Angie. Hi, I'm Tim.
Oh, Tim.
Let's get in the weird, cold, fake shower thing in a studio. Don't worry, I got the nylon guitar string spandex thing. We're all good. It's really, guys, who wants to be an actor? Did we not sell you?
I think that is a perfect note to end on. So, thank you, everyone. Be sure to thank our cast. Enjoy the rest of the con. Thank you all for being here. Did you want to do a photo thing with us, Stanley?
Sure. You guys want to take a photo? Amazing. If I don't get to say it later, just thank you so much for coming out, because I do know we are going to say goodbye later, so I'm not doing it then, but it means so much. You need to know that, and that everything you guys give, it's so appreciated, and you fill my heart, and I hope that I give back a little bit of what you give. Okay. You guys want to come in tighter?
We're doing a selfie
We're all
time.
too-
Should you stand on a? No, you're good. Okay.